good scrimmage tonight. Got some good work in. You really rolled it more as a in-game situation, so we were able to see a lot of different things. Have to have some quick reaction, sudden change. I thought the defense was dominant tonight. You really, attacked in all aspects. Controlled the line of scrimmage. I was able to do a nice job with creating negative plays. Offensively, struggled to really get in any rhythm. Have a play here or there, but then a mistake that would force a longer yardage situation. And right now we can't afford to do that. With where we are, and we have a lot of work to do. We got to continue to get better. Got to have a continued investment in understanding our assignments and what we're supposed to do, and then obviously continue to get better fundamentally. In each of those areas as well. I've got some good special teams work. You'll see continued growth and buy-in when it comes to that. Going to be critical for this football team here moving forward. So I'm gonna keep pushing our guys, challenging them to elevate their game, in that regards as well. And I think that going into this last week, with us, having a week later, first game, is going to kind of extend our camp. Now we're starting school on Monday, so we'll be limited to 20 hours this week, but still going to try to keep as much good work as possible. You'll hear throughout this next week as we're preparing to break camp. The following week, and probably get more of a focus into Georgia Tech. But right now, all of our focus is on ourselves, continuing to grow and get better.
First question will be Chris Nee from Mills 247.
Good evening, Mike. Hope you're doing good. You made it sound like the defense really had the upper hand tonight. Is that a concern that the offense is struggling, or is it just a matter of the defense might be further ahead?
Well, you going through fall camp, you would like to see your defense, usually ahead of the offense. There's obviously I think we've got a talented group on that side of the ball. We need to be playing at a high level in regards to that side of the ball, as well as the offensive side needs to continue to improve and get better. And yesterday I thought it was really good back and forth, but tonight the defense definitely came out on top, really in every aspect. And there's a lot of mistakes that have to be cleaned up offensively. We're not good enough to be able to overcome those type of those situations at this time, and we've got a lot of growth that we need to see. We need to see more leadership emerge in the accountability aspect of what we're doing. But that's the one thing about scrimmages and practicing against each other each and every day is that you're going to get a great sense of where you are, and you've got to bring it with each opportunity. And tonight the defense definitely got the upper hand.
Next will be Norvell from Warchamp.
When you talk about the mistakes on offense, are they more mental or physical, or a combination of both?
That was a little combination of both tonight. There's some things that just basic mistakes that showed up that haven't necessarily showed up in the last few days. That showed up tonight, and for whatever reason, it's when you're in a game situation. Each one of those mistakes are magnified. Some of the things fundamentally, physically, we can continue to work to get better. It's they're still moving and rolling a good number of guys, trying to find the right combinations, and we're working a lot of different personnel groupings, trying to get a sense of what that's going to look like. But there were some good plays. There were some drives that were extensive drives, but then when you get into the positive side of the field and you have a critical error or a mistake that puts you behind the chains, it's hard to sustain those. And so those are all things that we need that consistency. We need a consistency offensively. I like the personnel that we have, but having potential and having talent doesn't do a lot if you're not putting yourself in the best position to be able to utilize that and showcase it. So we've just got to continue to work.
Next will be Perry from Tomahawk Nation.
Good evening, Coach. So something that you and your staff have been emphasizing recently has been the level of communication and how happy you've been with it recently. Did that translate today? Were you happy with it, or just kind of just where it's been?
Well, we had some miscommunication today that caused some problems, and I want to be faster in our communication. That's even though the defense you had a good performance, I didn't think we were communicating as fast as I'd like us to see, and they played fast, but I think we need to do a better job of getting the calls, making sure we're set. Any additional communication that needs to take place, and then when the ball is snapped, we gotta fly around to it. So I think we did some good things in that regards. But getting ourselves started by operating as quick and as efficiently as we can is something that we're going to continue to improve.
Next will be Gene Williams from Warchant.
Good evening, Coach. You had said earlier that the defense controlled the line of scrimmage. Was the front seven playing at a really high level? And kind of, I guess, if so, who's standing out up there?
Well, we've got a talented group there, and we've got the thing that I like is the depth is really starting to show itself. You look at the defensive front. Really, all those guys are having impact plays. I think Robert Cooper's having a really nice camp. He's continuing to lose body weight, and you'll get to where he is very active and helping control the line of scrimmage there. Fabian Levitt is going to be a really impressive player, I think, not only this year but for his future. Just so excited about what he brings and what he's added. You sit there and obviously everybody knows Marv and I think Kando has had an incredible camp throughout, but seeing some guys that are really coming along. Some of our younger guys. I think our linebackers. The competition has definitely helped. When you look at Emmett and Leonard and what they've been doing and the growth that they've had. Those young backers. I think it's helped push them, and so plus we're just the mentality of which we're trying to play, being very aggressive in all aspects, and not necessarily with just pressures, but just the mentality of how we're trying to attack, and that's something that's really helping those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
We'll go back to Ira from Warchant.
I know schemes change from year to year, especially with the new coaching staff, but the defensive ends last season did not put up a lot of numbers in terms of sacks. Do you see more from the defensive ends from this group in terms of getting out to the quarterbacks, and what does that do for the defense if you get that pressure from those ends?
Well, I think it's going to be critical for our success, and we need those guys to play at a high level. We know that the interior push is going to be there. I feel very confident that it's going to be there, especially with the depth that we have. But when you look at guys like Kando, you look at J-Rob. Those guys have played a good amount of football here throughout their career, and we need them to continue to elevate their game. Young guys like Josh Griffiths, Tay Williams has flashed. He did last week, and I thought there was a couple good plays again tonight. Derek McClendon, I think is putting together a solid camp. He just needs to continue to work on that consistency, play in and play out. But those guys they're working hard, and they're all challenging and competing with each other, and it's something that's going to be essential for our success, especially from that end position.
Next will be Brendan Seminoles from North 247.
Hi, Mike. With the offense struggling to get in a rhythm, like you said today, does that fall on any specific position group that kind of start to get things going? Offensive line being more consistent, or quarterbacks picking up leadership? Is there a certain group that you look at to get the offense going?
It's all. That's when to play good offensive football, it's going to take every position group to do their part, and that's part of the problems that we had this evening, is that there would be different groups at different times that would have either a mistake or not put ourselves in the best position with some drop passes, some busting protection, some things that showed up fundamentally that we've got to improve on, and we had some just dumb penalties that we have to get corrected, and things that are totally in our control. But that's why we coach, and why we practice, and we just have a lot of work to do here these next few weeks before September 12th.
We'll go back to Aslan for more chance.
Coach, the adage is that you make your strongest growth between game 1 and game 2. Does that apply at all to scrimmages?
I think you saw a step from our defense from the first scrimmage to tonight. I thought they were continuing to develop the confidence in what they're being asked to do. They were playing fast. You had 11 hats that were flying around the field, and that's what you're hopeful to see as a coach. And there's when you get to this point, the second scrimmage, and when we've been going against each other, there's a lot of familiarity, in schemes and things that guys are being asked to do. You're hopeful that the defense is playing like that together. That's starting to show up, and especially with the some of the experience that we have there, and the talented guys. It's important that they continue to push to get better. But I thought we did see a nice jump from them from 1 to 2, and we're going to need to continue to see that from offense as we're getting closer to the first game.
It has to be Wayne McGahee from Tallahassee Democrat.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. You mentioned the offensive struggles tonight, but specifically with the quarterbacks and James Blackman. How did they do tonight? Just what were your overall thoughts at that position group?
I thought James did some nice things. There were a couple plays I know he'd like to have back. He is. I really like the progression I'm seeing from James, and and really all the quarterbacks. I mean, those guys are they're working hard. Obviously, with Chuba being out this week. I mean, Tate got a bigger workload. So I mean, just getting the game to slow down a little bit for him, and just continue to build that confidence. And where his eyes need to be, and the rhythm of what he's doing. Obviously, I think when you look collectively at that room with Jordan, and I like the quarterback group that we have. I really do. I think that the diversity in their talents and what they can do. It's just the consistency of the level of play, and not letting one play, whether it's really good or really bad, affect the next play. And that's part of their maturity throughout the offense, and it's going to be a critical factor in their growth.
Dr. Perry from Tomahawk Nation.
Coach, how did the tight end group look tonight, and especially with Jordan being out? How did the blocking look on that end? So you don't have your large human being anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Cam did some nice things. He had a couple nice catches tonight. I think he's working. I mean, really putting in a great deal of emphasis in his run blocking. I think Coach Thompson's doing a nice job of those guys fundamentally. You see Wyatt Rector that's still learning the positions, and he's doing a good job. Preston Daniel, I mean, I know we got a lot of work out of him tonight. We want to see him and really where he is at. I think he's somebody that can help this football team this year, and definitely try to work to put himself in their rotation. Carter Boatwright, you've got got a lot of reps tonight as well. So we're continuing to evaluate that position, and try to get the best sense of where we are. But really got to kind of watch the film to give more accurate detail of what that looked like playing and play out.
Last one will be Ira from War Chant.
Coach, the students on campus are really back in mass now with classes starting next week, and I know you won't be able to have your guys around with you as much with the 20-hour rule starting. Is there more emphasis right now on making sure the guys make good decisions, or do you feel confident they'll be able to do that?
Well, we're still going to have to take nothing for granted, and we are definitely emphasizing that. Even last night when we broke from our event last night, and came back to the facility, that was one of the things that we continued to talk to them about is who they're around, making sure that they're practicing the proper protocols. It's going to be more challenging with more people. And there's no doubt about that, but kind of like what we talked about this this last week, and I know work done emphasized it. What are you willing to sacrifice? And we all want to play this game. We want to you have this opportunity. Well, it's going to take a great sacrifice, and it's whether it's fair or not for what these guys are having to go through. I mean, they want to play. They want to get a chance to go out there and show the growth and show the development that of what they've invested. So they're going to have to commit to a certain type of lifestyle, provide themselves the best opportunity to do that. And so I'm encouraged with our guys and how they've been operating, and so we're gonna do our best here moving forward.